Welcome to Fandom Recaps, and here is Demon Slayer Season 1. For me, please hit the like button and sub. This anime starts with Tanjiro Kamado living with his family a happy and peaceful life in the snowy mountains, providing for them by selling charcoal in the nearby town. One day, he returns home only to find his entire family slaughtered in a demon attack, with the exception of his younger sister, Nezuko Kamado, who has begun to transform into a demon herself.
And she's getting stronger!
Carrying his sister to the doctor in the village, he meets a demon slayer, Jiu Tomioka, who tries to kill Nezuko, but Tanjiro does his best to defend her. Surprised to see Nezuko resist her demonic urges and protect her brother, and impressed by Tanjiro's potential, he decides to spare her life, telling him to go find Sakonji Urikodaki on Mountain Sajiri. Tanjiro and Nezuko approach Mountain Sajiri when they encounter a demon residing in a nearby temple. They manage to successfully restrain it, but he finds himself hesitant to kill it, leaving it to burn in the sunlight. At this time, he meets Sakonji Urikodaki, who chastises him for his poor resolve and warns him about what will happen if Nezuko decides to kill a human. Urikodaki puts Tanjiro through a test to prove his worthiness by climbing up and descending the hazardous and trap-infested Mount Sajiri. Tanjiro succeeds in the task, and Urikodaki accepts him as his student. Tanjiro trains under Urikodaki to become a member of the Demon Slayer Corps, being told that he must pass final selection to be recognized as one. With everything to know laid out, Urikodaki gives Tanjiro one final task, to slice an immense boulder. After another 6 months of failing to make a dent, he starts to lose hope when he is suddenly attacked by a fellow swordsman, Sabito, who criticizes him for his weaknesses. Another swordsman, Makomo, helps to train Tanjiro more, revealing that they both are former students of Urikodaki. 6 more months of training conclude with a final spar, where Tanjiro successfully strikes Sabito. As the two commend him for his success and vanish in a haze, it is revealed his slash had actually sliced the boulder in half. Urikodaki congratulating Tanjiro and told him to come back alive from the final selection.
Truly remarkable. I'm very proud.
He arrives alongside a group of others like him who aspire to be demon slayers, where they learn they must survive for 7 days among demons trapped in the mountains. During his battles, he encounters the hand demon who specifically targets the students of Urikodaki. Having killed all of them, including Sabito and Makomo, Tanjiro manages to overcome demon's defenses and successfully slices its neck with his water breathing. After that, the spirits of the students find rest. Tanjiro survives the 7 days of final selection and finds only 3 others have made it as well. After receiving the ores needed to make their swords, Tanjiro returns to Urikodaki's, where he reunites with him and Nezuko. A swordsmith named Hagenezuko arrives shortly afterward to hand Tanjiro his sword, surprising everyone that it turns black. His Kasagai crow soon appears to provide him with the details for his first mission.
You must go to a town northwest of here!
Tanjiro travels to the northwest village to investigate the case of the young girls who have been disappearing. He waits until night, when the demon makes its move against its next victim until Tanjiro intervenes to rescue her. While Nezuko protects the girl, Tanjiro faces off against the swamp demon and his clones. Tanjiro jumps into the swamp where 2 of the clones hide and manages to defeat them with his whirlpool form. Nezuko faces off against the final clone until Tanjiro arrives and corners it. He asks the demon about Muzan Kibutsuji, the original demon and the one capable of turning people into demons, but he refuses to tell him anything, terrified by Muzan's previous threats. After killing the demon, he is making his way to the next mission in Tokyo's Asakusa. Soon after arriving, Tanjiro detects a scent that was present in his house the day his family was killed. He follows it to a man with his wife and daughter, who turns out to be Muzan himself in disguise. While being confronted, Muzan turns a passerby into a demon in the crowd to make his escape. Meanwhile, Tanjiro is rescued by a demon named Tameo and a boy, Yushiro, revealing that she is a doctor with intentions of wanting to take down Muzan as well. Tameo reveals it could be possible to create a cure for becoming a demon, but she will need blood samples from demons Muzan has been in direct contact with to create it. Tanjiro resolves to accept this task.
Nezuko's condition is extremely rare.
Tanjiro encounters another demon slayer, Zenitsu. He reveals he hoped to die during final selection due to his weakness and low resolve. Then, he says that Tanjiro must protect him until he marries. They too are directed by Tanjiro's crow to their next location, a large woodland mansion, where they see 2 children, Shoichi and Teruko, who tell him a demon is inside and has taken their brother. They enter, leaving Nezuko's box outside when the children unexpectedly enter too. They are then separated by the supernatural rooms, moving to the beat of a drum. Tanjiro, with Teruko, detects a large demon, the strongest one in the house. While looking for an exit, Zenitsu and Shoichi encounter another demon slayer, wearing a boar mask. Tanjiro witnesses the demon's blood demon art, moving the room with the drums implanted on his body. At that moment, the boar-headed demon slayer enters, ready to attack, but demon puts him into another room. Zenitsu, cornered by another demon, loses consciousness from fear. However, while asleep, he uses his thunder breathing to kill the demon instantly. After directing the siblings to safety, Tanjiro battles Kyogai. He maintains his water breathing and successfully reaches Kyogai, decapitating him. He takes Kyogai's blood with a vial, giving the sample to Tameo's cat, who vanishes. Taking the siblings outside, he discovers Zenitsu, who had been thrown out of the house earlier, being kicked by the rogue demon slayer for protecting Nezuko's box. Tanjiro defends him and attacks the rogue swordsman. Eventually, he headbutts him, causing the boar mask to fall off. The slayer reveals himself as Inasu Kashibira. Bidding the siblings farewell, the three travel to a house, where an elderly woman inside helps them rest and recover. After recovering fully, Tanjiro's crow informs the trio of their next mission on Mount Natagumo.
Northeast! Your next mission is northeast!
They bid the hosts farewell and travel to the mountain. They see the forest covered in spider webs. Inosuke decides to lead and Tanjiro follows. Zenitsu stays put, too afraid to go in. They come across another demon slayer, Murata. He reveals 10 of them were sent to the mountain, but they began to spontaneously kill each other without warning. Hearing about the numerous deaths, the Demon Slayer Corps send 2 Hashiras to assist, Jiyu and Shinobu. Tanjiro and Inosuke go to the demon along the way, killing her puppets. Inosuke then throws Tanjiro into the air, where he spots Mother and descends to kill her. Initially scared, she surrenders. Seeing this, Tanjiro opts to use the gentlest water-breathing form and gives her peace. As thanks for blessing her final moments, she warns Tanjiro a member of the 12 Kazuki is on the mountain. Jiyu and Shinobu arrive at Mount Natagumo, splitting up to cover more ground. Tanjiro and Inosuke's blades are unable to cut Father's demon's tougher skin. He eventually flings Tanjiro away, leaving Inosuke alone to fight, though he succeeds in cutting off a hand. Tanjiro lands safely but sees Rui torturing sister over family matters. He calls their familial bond fake, enraging Rui, so Tanjiro battles him. Jiyu arrives to rescue Inosuke, then Hashira kills Father Demon instantly. Back to the Tanjiro's battle. We see Rui takes Nezuko and restrain her in threads. He taunts Tanjiro. Using his blood demon art, he traps Tanjiro in a cage of threads. Using the style of Hinakami Kagura, he destroys the cage and overwhelms Rui, forced on the defensive. When he sends more threads, Nezuko uses her own blood demon art, igniting her blood to burn them away. Using Nezuko's blood on his sword, Tanjiro beheads Rui. An exhausted Tanjiro discovers Rui had beheaded himself to avoid death. He prepares to kill Tanjiro once more but is stopped by Jiyu. When the mission is ended, Kasugai Crow then announces that Tanjiro and Nezuko are to be taken to the Demon Slayer headquarters. Later, Tanjiro awakens to find himself in front of the Hashira. Tanjiro is trialed by the Hashira for carrying Nezuko. They discuss amongst themselves whether he should be executed, alongside Jiyu, who defended him, but Shinobu tells them not to be hasty. Tanjiro explains Nezuko's situation. Entering the scene, their revered master, Kagaya Yubayashiki, reveals them a letter from Yurikodaki, the former water Hashira, explaining that Nezuko is fully capable of resisting humans' blood and Tanjiro would kill themselves if she couldn't. With his trial finished, the siblings are taken by the Kakashi to Shinobu's estate, the Butterfly Mansion, to recover and train. After some time training, Tanjiro is able to equal Kanao's speed and blow up a gourd. Tanjiro and Inosuke receive new swords from Hagenzuka and Kanamori, though both become angered at their work being mistreated. Months ago, following Rui's death, the remaining lower ranks are summoned into an interdimensional castle. They face Musen's wrath, who informs them of Rui's death and denounces the lower ranks as weak before killing them.
Please show me mercy!
However, he spares lower one over his macabre personality and worship of him. Giving him ample blood for strength, Musen adds that he can attain more by specifically killing Tanjiro. In the present, a Kasugai Crow tells the trio of their new mission to the Mugen train, where 40 people have disappeared. He farewells the people of the mansion. The three arrive at the train station, but Inosuke causes a commotion, attracting the police. They are forced to flee due to demon slayers not being recognized by the government, which is unaware that demons exist. They jump onto the train as it leaves, with Kyojuro and lower rank 1 on board. Please leave a comment about video, so I can make even better recaps for you. Thanks for watching.